Did you know that the Amazing World of Gumball started as a tiny experiment and became a global sensation worth millions in just 14 years? That's right, from weird early sketches to crazy character redesigns, and even the creator saying he kinda hates his own show now. Today we're taking a deep dive into the full evolution of Gumball. So buckle up, because this is going to be weird, wacky, and totally wonderful. It all began in 2008 with a project simply called Gumball. At first, Gumball wasn't even a cat, he was a blue dog. Yep, a dog. But as the team worked on the character, they realized a dog didn't quite match his unlucky but cheerful personality. So next idea, a black cat. Sounds better, right? Except it was too normal. Finally, they landed on bright blue, something you literally never see on cats. That gave him a unique mascot vibe, something out of 70s, 80s Japanese pop culture. And that's the Gumball we all recognize today. Big eyes, rectangular head, and an expression that screams, "I am about to get into trouble." Darwin's story is equally wild. He was inspired by Ben Bocalet's real-life friend Paul, who was basically adopted by the Watterson family in real life. Originally, Darwin's design was huge-eyed, big-headed, and even animated in 3D, which didn't fit with the chaotic 2D, 3D mix they wanted. But after redesigning him into the adorable goldfish we know, Darwin was ready to become Gumball's best friend and family. The animation itself, a mix of 2D, 3D, and real-world photography backgrounds. At the time, it looked strange, like nothing anyone had ever seen, but it became Gumball's signature style. And it wasn't just the visuals, the writing was already sharp, funny, and chaotic, setting the tone for Elmore's wild adventures. Fast forward to 2011. On May 9th, The Amazing World of Gumball officially premiered on Cartoon Network, with the very first episode, the DVD. Within minutes, it was clear. This wasn't just another kid's cartoon. The show's visual style was unlike anything on TV. A chaotic mashup of 2D animation, CGI, live-action backgrounds, and even puppetry. It looked like someone dumped every animation technique into a blender, and somehow it worked perfectly. That visual chaos paired with bizarre yet oddly relatable characters made Elmore feel alive from the start. At the heart of it all was the Watterson family. Gumball, the troublemaking blue cat, Darwin, his sweet and loyal goldfish turned brother, Nicole, the overworked but fiercely loving mom, Richard, the, let's say, creatively unemployed dad, and Anais, the genius 4-year-old with the patience of a ticking time bomb. Each episode was a wild ride, slapstick one moment, razor-sharp jokes the next, and every so often, a surprisingly heartfelt moment that caught you off guard. It wasn't just funny, it stuck with you. Critics noticed too. The show won a British Academy Children's Award in its very first year, and the premiere drew an impressive 2.12 million US viewers. Not bad for a blue cat trying to return a scratched DVD. Voice actors Logan Grove and Kwesi Boakye brought the perfect mix of charm, energy, and comedic timing, instantly cementing the characters as fan favorites. And just like that, Gumball wasn't just another Cartoon Network show. It was on its way to becoming one of the network's most beloved series ever. Season 2 of The Amazing World of Gumball, which premiered in 2012, felt like the show had officially found its stride. Everything looked smoother, and I mean everything. Gumball and Darwin's designs got a mini makeover. Their eyes were rounder, their outlines cleaner, and the strange shadow issues from Season 1 were gone. Even the Watterson family looked subtly different, with more expressive faces and movements that made Elmore feel just a little more alive. And let's not forget the voices. Logan Grove, the original voice of Gumball, delivered a performance so full of charm and comedic timing that it won him an Annie Award for Best Voice Actor. Basically the Oscars for animation. For a kid's cartoon, that was huge. It proved that Gumball wasn't just visually unique, it had top-tier talent behind the mic too. But behind the scenes, there was a ticking clock. Voice actors for child characters face a unique problem. Their voices change fast. Fans started noticing subtle differences. Gumball sounding a bit older, Darwin's tone shifting ever so slightly. At the time, it didn't seem like a big deal, but what no one knew was that this was just the start of a revolving door of voice changes that would become a defining part of Gumball's evolution. Some fans embraced it, joking that Elmore ages in real time. Others, not so much. Either way, the seeds of change were planted, and they would grow in ways that no one, not even the creators, could have predicted. Season 3 hit screens in 2014, and with it came one of the biggest behind-the-scenes shakeups in the show's history. Logan Grove, the voice of Gumball, and Kwesi Boakye, the voice of Darwin, had both hit the one enemy no child voice actor can outrun. Their voices had matured too much to keep up with the eternally young Watterson brothers. Enter the new duo, Jacob Hopkins as Gumball and Terrell Ransom Jr. as Darwin. Fans, understandably, were bracing for the worst. After all, replacing two lead voices at once is risky. But the transition was shockingly smooth. Hopkins brought an excitable, slightly snarkier tone to Gumball, while Ransom Jr. kept Darwin's warmth and innocence intact. It was different, but it worked. Visually, the show also saw a quiet upgrade. Characters' eyes became even rounder, outlines sharper, and the animation cleaner than ever. By 2015, Gumball had truly locked in its style. That perfect recipe of clever writing, over-the-top chaos, and visuals unlike anything else on TV. Season 4, also released in 2015, only doubled down on the madness. From parodying blockbuster movies to taking shots at modern tech addiction, the writers seemed fearless. The world of Elmore had become a playground where no topic was off limits. But then came the bombshell. Season 6 would be creator Ben Bocalé's last. For fans, this was like hearing the pilot of a roller coaster jump off mid-ride. Some were convinced the show would crash without its original captain. Others argued the team could keep the magic alive. Season 6 premiered in 2018, and to its credit, it still had all the hallmarks of classic Gumball. Razor-sharp humor, vibrant animation, and absurd storylines that somehow made sense. Until they didn't. It all ended with a massive cliffhanger. The Wattersons trapped in a bizarre, reality-breaking moment, and a promise that a movie would answer our questions. Spoiler, fans are still waiting. While fans waited for the movie, Darwin's yearbook dropped in 2019, giving a spotlight to Darwin as he worked on the school yearbook. Only 6 episodes, but full of charm, recycled clips, and fresh jokes. In 2020, the Gumball Chronicles arrived, revisiting classic moments with short episodes and new commentary. These miniseries weren't just filler, they kept the fanbase entertained and built excitement for the movie. And the movie? In 2021, HBO Max officially greenlit both the full-length Gumball movie and a continuation of the series. Fans rejoiced, until Warner Brothers merged with Discovery in 2022, halting the movie's production. Chaos ensued. But hope wasn't lost, far from it. On May 19th, 2025, Hulu dropped The Wonderfully Weird World of Gumball, a spin-off that basically feels like Season 7, but with the volume cranked all the way up. Imagine the original chaos of Elmore, now add AI companions that glitch into SAS mode, zombie apps that literally try to eat your phone battery, and storylines that poke fun at everything from influencer culture to self-driving school buses. The animation style is sharper, the pacing is faster, and the humor even more meta than before. At one point, Gumball literally argues with the narrator about the script and loses. Of course, with a new era comes new voices. Elio Thiel stepped into Gumball's sneakers and Hero Hunter took over as Darwin. Fans were understandably nervous at first. Changing voices for such iconic characters is always risky, but within the first episode, people were posting comments like, "Wait, I actually love this," and "Darwin sounds like he's had coffee for the first time." The series kept Gumball's heart, but wasn't afraid to push boundaries, mixing in topics ripped straight from 2025's headlines while still keeping that absurd, unpredictable charm. If anything, it proved that even over a decade later, the amazing world of Gumball can still surprise us, and maybe even get weirder. From a Blue Dog sketch in 2008 to a chaotic, multi-dimensional world in 2025, the amazing world of Gumball has transformed in every way. Characters, animation, voice actors, and storylines. And the story isn't over. New spin-offs, movies, and adventures are still on the horizon. So if you love chaos, clever humor, and completely bizarre adventures, Elmore is ready to welcome you back. And who knows, the next chapter of Gumball could be even crazier than anything we've seen so far.